Do we need instructing in Fire Emblem Three Houses? So, one thing I definitely missed from the older Fire Emblem games was when your units were just like a base class and you just kind of play the game. And then as you play the game, you can upgrade your units to an advanced class based on their base class. And one thing that they drastically overhauled in Three Houses is that your base class is kind of like a non-starter where it's just like generic and you can turn into literally anything and then branch off from there. And it kind of creates this issue of needing, well, not necessarily needing, but forcing the player to min-max attributes, right? Because like if you take an archer from, older Fire Emblem games, they just become like a sniper, maybe a bow knight, right? So you don't necessarily need to care about teaching them how to fly or improving their flying stat or their riding stat or their heavy armor stat. Like if you take a soldier and turn them into a general, it doesn't matter if you've never used heavy armor before because it unlocks that aspect of that class. So like you don't need to train an archer in horses to become a bow knight, but in Three Houses you do. So there's like this instruction system where you instruct your dudes, you get them goals. So you have like your goals, your group tasks, you have instruct, and then you have to test them in. Now I understand why it's in the game in terms of theme. It's in the game because, you're the professor, it's like a high school type thing, and you're teaching them to become certified in essentially a profession. So understand the why. But after playing through this game on Maddening a few times, I do definitely miss the old school system where it's just like, here's an archer, here's a cavalier, here's a Pegasus knight. So you don't really have to plan the unit. You don't have to go get everything death blow, which I don't mind doing because I do really like Three Houses. But the fact that you kind of have to do that to some degree is kind of a problem. Now you could argue, oh, you can just auto-instruct. But the problem with auto-instructing, especially if you're doing like difficult runs where you're, not allowing auxiliary, paralog, whatever, or if you're just new to maddening, is you're throwing out extra benefits because you just, like you're throwing out upside for expediency. So instead of, going through and manually instructing up every stat optimally, you're just basically telling the game, you just do it for me. And it'll kind of do a good job. It'll usually try to instruct people who have, high levels of happiness so they can be trained. And it usually goes by their goals. So it's not the worst way of doing it. But when you do it yourself, it's usually much better. It's not even close. All right, right now let's hit up Leonie. Let's see what she's up to. Let's get her some training in. So she's going to become a flyer, as you can see here. She's already D rank in there. And I put her into Brigand. And I'm going to have her be a Falcon Knight. Nope. Just because I like Falcon Knights. But they're pretty fun to use. But that's not really the point of this video. The point of this video is you're kind of forced, if you want to min-max, and most people who play these types of game are all about min-maxing, you either consciously throw out min-maxing for expediency, and even so, like each month is a mission, but there's also multiple actions that must take place before that month turns into the mission. Let's hit up Bernie. Let's see what she's doing. I can get her bows probably to A, which is crazy. Get her to A rank bows. I'm gonna make a video on bows too, and Three Houses, because the bow thing is kind of a situation. All right, so then we go to begin lecture. Maybe we get asked a question. Some people hate spiders, so then you have to not only answer the question correctly. You can just Google it, but you have to answer the question in a way the character likes and kind of makes sense. Some people hate spiders, centipedes. Towards flies or crickets. No idea. People are strange. Number of legs. Let's see if she likes this.
As good a reason as any.
As good a reason as any. So you have to do all these little things, and that's fine. I think that the process could be streamlined better. All right, Hammond wants to speak to me. I guess I'll talk to him. He's like all excited. But this is like the game, right? Like if you go and do like a paralog and then do an instructing session and then a paralog and then you get to the mission, you have to do quite a lot of content before you get to a mission. And here's like the results of the training for the week. So you can kind of see the levels going up.
I won't forget all I've learned.
I think one way to do it would be just to have it happen at the end of the month. And then just have you do like, there isn't instructing, it's just like goals. And then it just like shows you teaching or something, a little montage. Because I think like currently it just takes too much time. Now it probably won't be in the new game. I'm doing a seminar rest only run where I allow like 2 or 3 explorers aside from the forced ones. And mostly I've just been using Hanneman because I need bows and reason so I can get bolting unlocked on Manuela. I'm running Manuela because I'm doing a limited run. So it's pretty fun. But yeah, I think overall it takes like a lot of time, like just to get to a mission. In the older Fire Emblem games, the game was way more streamlined. I understand why they added these systems, so I can instruct automatically, but that'd be a mistake, especially if I'm doing, you know, no auxiliary battle, no paralog, no DLC, no online. Like I'm kind of forced to, you know, I want to increase his levels so he can continue out like seminaring. So I have like a little plan going on that I have to kind of follow. So making sure his reason and archery are high so that he can keep teaching people is pretty important. And then Manuela, even though she's only at 50%, I'll still try to help her get some reason. All right, let's see if she likes consoling. All right, she does. She likes being consoled, so that's not surprising. That's another thing too. You have to like know who wants to be consoled, who wants to be critiqued, and so on, which can be a thing. But you do spend a lot of time in this menu. That's why I wanted to make this video. So that's it for this one. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed this or found this interesting. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this system. Do you prefer the old Fire Emblem systems where you just have like base class, like here's an archer and then they can become a sniper. Here's a cav, they can become a paladin. Like I actually kind of preferred that system because I feel like I was playing the game more and managing less. And like, you know, managing inventory wasn't really that big of a deal because when a weapon broke, it just deleted it from itself from your inventory. So like there wasn't repairing. And I think it was just, you know, you gear your dudes up and you just go fight. And I think durability is kind of being blamed for like the bloat of the new systems because they removed durability in the most recent one. And they have in other games, some people let me know, like some of the ones in 3DS. I never had a 3DS. But I think that's part of the reason why they're removing some of these systems because there simply are too many systems. So when you have too many systems, it's like balancing that all and, you know, forcing the player to juggle all these UI elements. It's quite a lot. If you're wondering why I'm improving his riding, if you get A riding, you get +1 move, which is actually pretty sick. So I'm going to try to see if I can get that, even though I'm not doing auxiliary or paralogs. But yeah, that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.